What is going on, new coaches? Yes. All right. Let me just prep this and get this set up so that I can see you, right? And so that we can connect right now. I can't see your comments, so I'm gonna pop this in live. There we go. All right. We should be rolling any moment. And I will pull this up. Hope you're having a wonderful 2019 so far. I know I absolutely am. And that is going to be on you. All right. However I can help, that is definitely something that I'm interested in. Absolutely. So it's going to be a little bit of a lag, but I will be able to see you. So we will be live here any moment. And I think it's now. So I will be able to get your comments. If you decide to comment, have at it, and I'll make sure that we connect and that I answer any questions that you have. You can also just pop your question right into the comment section of where this is. And I'm going to share this into my group if nobody minds. I would love to do that. Share to a watch party. I should do that sometime. There we go. All right, and we're going live in there. Now I can pretty much see it anywhere. And let me kick over back to my page as well, because I'm always wanting to hear you, interact with you. Tell me how you're doing. If you can hear me, let me know. That'd be awesome. I would love to know, because I can't always tell myself if you can hear me or not. And there we go. I can hear me, but all right. There we go. All right. Who we have here? We got Richard. Richard's here. What's going on, brother? Great to see you. Hey, congratulations on enrolling another client, brother. Also, congratulations on creating a human child. That is so freaking awesome. I can't even begin to tell you how stoked that makes me, man. I just, both of the two daughters that I had a part in creating, I was actually putting them to bed last night, and we were talking, and they were asking me, like, what was it like when I was born? What was it like when I was born? So, man, so happy for you. So happy. That's like 2 major wins. That's fantastic. New coaches. Can you hear me all right, Richard? Let me know if you can hear me all right. This is for all new coaches. Hey, brother. You're gonna have to follow some intuition, but I'm open to having conversations about that. You know what to do to raise them. It's a crazy trip. This is for new coaches. For those of you who, there's plenty of advice out there about what to do about your job. This isn't popular advice, what I'm about to say. Thanks for letting me know, Richard. I appreciate it. What I'm about to say isn't popular advice, but I'm going to give it to you. All right. If you're a new coach, do not quit your day job before you're supposed to. What does that mean? Don't quit your day job. We're going to get there. There's this term that people use, particularly the gurus, when they say, oh, quit your day job. That way you'll back yourself into a corner and you'll have to fight your way out and you will succeed. Okay, there is a time and a place to quit your job. They call it burning the boats or burning the ships. And it's this analogy that when explorers would land, they would burn the ships so that the sailors and the warriors knew there was no going back. They had to go forward. They had to conquer the land. They had to set up. They had to survive, right? That is horrific. I mean, if my captain did that, he'd have to sleep under some protection, right? That's just terrible. It's also terrible advice when you're in the middle of the ocean. When you're in the middle of the ocean, you do not burn the ships. When you can't see land, you don't burn the ships. Why? Because you will absolutely 100% drown. I talk to lots and lots of new coaches who are launching their coaching business or starting some sort of business. And so they have already made the decision to quit their job, and they've left their job to launch their coaching business, but now they've got no way to support themselves. They've got no income. And so they've got zero bandwidth mentally and emotionally to actually do what needs to be done to launch a coaching business. You cannot quit your job before you've gotten to a certain point. There is a time to burn the ships, but it's not when you're out at sea, and it's not when you first land on land. You need to scout out the area. You need to make sure that that's a place where you want to land, because you might want to get back on your boat and go down the coast a little bit, right? Where you're going to settle really, really does matter. You cannot burn the ships when you're at sea. What does that look like for new coaches? It means that you get comfortable with the fact that it is going to take you several weeks to enroll your first client, and it's going to take you several months before you're anywhere near full-time in your coaching business. So you're going to need that income from your job. I look at it like this: even if you don't like your job, you can use it as a venture capital opportunity where every day when you go to work, you're trying to raise funds to support your new business. Does that make sense? Good, good. So oftentimes when I'm on the phone with a brand new coach, they've already quit their job because they wanted to get backed into a corner so that they would come out fighting. And unfortunately, they just end up getting paralyzed. They just end up getting paralyzed because they don't have the energy mentally and emotionally to do the things. And it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of resistance, and you need that energy. The last thing you need to be worried about is, how are you going to put food on the table? How are you going to keep a roof over your head? That's the last thing you want to worry about. But when you free up that bandwidth, and so oftentimes what I tell new coaches who have already quit their job, I say, go find a job right now, get income. That's what you need to do. Stop quitting your job or jobs to follow your dream. Get a job so you can make your dream become a reality. That's it. It's that simple. Get a job, work it. And then in your off time, in your spare time, that's when you build your business, okay? This is how I did it. I had 2 part-time jobs, and I was a single dad with 2 young daughters, 2 and 4. And so I would work my part-time jobs. I would spend time with my daughters. And then when I put my daughters to bed, I would get to work on my business. And at first it was just writing content, trying to create my messaging. I built a website, kind of a waste of time. I blogged. Back then, blogging was just dying down, so I was still able to get some traction from it, but not a whole lot. But when I first enrolled my first clients, I targeted people on the West Coast because I knew I could put my daughters to bed at 8 and work from 8:30 to 9:30, work with a client from 9:30 to 10:30, and work with a third client from 10:30 to 11:30 at night. And that's what I did. And I worked before they woke up. I worked after they went to bed. Sometimes I would work while they were awake, right? But it's doable. And it was so much easier to do because I knew I had paychecks coming in from my job. Richard, yeah, Domino's is funding your coaching business. Guess what else? Your coaching business is now funding your coaching business. That's freaking awesome. Your job is to not spend that money on anything but your business, right? Don't spend that money on anything but your business. There is, in the Coach Launcher group, there is a training, Richard, on personal finance. It's awesome. Find it. It should be on the right-hand side under description. So that's it. That's my advice. If you're considering quitting your job, but you don't have any clients enrolled in your coaching business, don't quit. Unless you've saved, unless you have some savings, then I understand that. But even if you have 6 months worth of savings, by the time you get down to 4 months, you're going to start to panic, and it is going to start to take up bandwidth. It might be worth having a part-time job to stretch that 6 months into 8 or 10 months, maybe even 12 months. I cut back all my living expenses. I did. I lived off the back of my buddy's house. He had a huge master bedroom with a master bath. It was beautiful. It was hard. My ego took a hit, but I really wanted to do this thing. And I knew I could spend more time with my daughters and more time on my business if I rented out that room than anything else. And I just told my ego to take a seat. That's it. That's all. Plenty of resistance that you're going to meet. Don't make one of the pieces of resistance finances. Get a job or keep your job, and you can still launch your coaching business. If anything, if you hate your job, that'll be more motivation to make your business work that much quicker. You have any questions on that at all? Any questions on that at all? Guys, do me a favor. If you would hit like, it lets other people know that they need to come watch this at some point. Let's see here. Awesome. All right. If you don't have any other questions, I know there's a little bit of lag. You're awesome, Richard. I see that. If you don't have any other questions, we'll wrap up. I know there's some lag. I'm happy to answer them. And you can always just drop them in the comments here, or you can create a whole new question either on my page or in the group. Either way, it's just fine. But don't burn your ships while you're still at sea. Okay? People hate hearing this. But every time I talk to a coach who needs a job and is hoping that their business will take off in 2 months so that they don't have to get one, there's a sigh of relief when I say, go out and get a part-time job and stretch what you have right now. It's this, okay, that feels better. It's totally doable. I know this goes against everything everyone else is going to tell you, but it's the truth. And I think I'm sharing it with you because it's the most helpful thing. All right, you're wonderful. And I will connect with you all later. Love having you all around.